One was all around the island. In a small one like this, they keeping 150 to 200 slaves maximum, men, women, children, living separately in a different cells, following sex and age. The waiting time here was so long for 3 months and a half before shipping to America. There was only by sailing boat. Sometimes on same house you found all family, father, mother and children. But shipping to America depending on the buyers. The father maybe could send into United States, the mother Brazil or Cuba, children Haiti or French West Indies. The separation was total. Slaves used to live with matricule numbers, never with African names. Once they arrived in America, they took the name of their owners. Today, Afro-American in the US get English name. Cuba, a Spanish one, Brazil, Portuguese, Haiti or French West Indies, they have French name. So what they have now, we call it the borrowed name, not really African. Same for men. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There. This is the typical cell reserving for men. Each one big like 2.6 meters square. So 15 or 20 men inside.
Wow.
So 20 together, all sitting down, back against the wall, shackles on the arms and shackles on the leg permanently. And they should free them once a day from cell to outside on the seaside to using themselves as a restroom. So generally, captives should live inside with a very such bad condition. The first epidemic of plague ravages this island in 1779 start from this house because of the very bad condition. Next to the main one, we see the children one. Children, the mortality rate was the highest, 30% always. Okay, this one for children. Very sad. This is the one reserved for children. And they used to sleeping down on the floor like in the sardine boxes, without any clothes except one fabric. But that time, the value of child was depending by the teeth like a horse to know the age. And the price of child was just a mirror or tobacco. Europeans never using money, I told you. They was trading. We stopped alcohol, gun, munition, clothes, cover, likeness, etc. Should collaborating with some African tribal chief. The same one get fire gun from masters go inside on the mainland. After tribal war, any ethnic group losing so become slave. From inside brought them on the closest cost, just trading with European because that time European was all along the coast inside that ship full of stock. So that's why we recognize our part of responsibility, maybe without choice. Otherwise, if those Europeans never came here to get slaves, never seen some African collaboration. Because I told you the real impact is economical. So to make you better understand, we all are responsible, Europeans, African, even the church, because the first idea comes from the church. That Mexican Archbishop said black people no have soul. And even the Arab, they start slave trade before European, 11th century, in the eastern part of Africa. But never from here to America, but from Zanzibar, sailing to Madagascar, Mauritius Island, Egypt, India, or Asia. That's why between the Indians you can see some black mix. But Atlantic trade concerning European, from West Africa to whole America, north to south, start in 1536 by the Portuguese, Dutch, English and French until 1848 in French Revolution. You get it?
Yeah.
Welcome.
So where are the toilets here?
No toilet. I told you they free once a day from sail to go on the seaside.
Ah.